Thank all of you for coming in. I know the staff is very upset over Dr. Quartermaine's disappearance. I've always thought of this hospital as a large extended family, and when we lose a member of that family, well, it's like losing a close relative.
And Alan was very close to all of us.
Yeah, except for Monica.
Amy?
Well, I'm sorry, Dr. Hardy. It's just that I love and care about Alan Quartermaine very, very much. And it really upsets me that he's gone.
We don't know that, Amy, for sure.
The police are still searching for him, Amy.
That's right. I talked to Anna Devane, and she assured me that the police are doing everything they possibly can to find out what happened to Alan.
I wish there was something we could do.
The only thing we can do is stick to our jobs. We can't let something like this interfere with our work.
Alan would be the first to insist that patient's care comes first.
And what are we supposed to do, just pretend like nothing happened?
I expect you to act like professionals. Even Monica plans to come in and take care of her patients as soon as possible.
Steve, how's Monica holding up?
As well as can be expected.
Has she told the children?
Not yet. Fortunately, they're at summer camp. She doesn't want to alarm them until she finds out what happened to Alan. Dan, I'd like you to keep the administrative staff informed.
I'll take care of it.
Audrey, I'll let you and Amy keep the nursing staff posted.
Oh, yes, of course.
We'll make sure everybody finds out.
That doesn't mean gossip, Amy. Patrick, I'll have to take you off the medical van and assign you to Alan's rotation at the clinic.
Excuse me, Dr. Hardy, that means the medical van will be uncovered.
Don't worry, Patrick, I'll handle it.
Yank, I don't want you working the clock around.
Oh, it'll all work out, Dr. Hardy. I have a lot of time on my hands since Jay's been gone.
Okay. Patrick, I'd like you and Yank to tell Buzz exactly what happened to Alan. I'd rather you heard it from one of us.
Yeah, we wouldn't want Buzz to think we were keeping hospital business from him.
Steve, sure. I have the week off for my oral comps, but I'll be here if you need me.
I know that, Bobby, and it means a lot to me.
Well, Steve and I are going over to see Monica later this afternoon, and we will pass on all your good wishes.
May I go along with you?
Certainly.
Isn't it just a little bit early to be paying respects?
We're not going to be paying respects. We're going over to Monica to offer our prayers and our love. The police haven't given up hope yet, and neither should we.
Same to you. You have your hands full searching for Alan.
I know I do. See you in a bit.
Right.
Whoops. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I've got Sam waiting for that report on the license plate, and that shouldn't take too long. Then I've got every available blue and white searching the inland area around the crash site.
Good. And the divers, what about them?
Oh, they found some wreckage at the bottom of the lake. Just might be part of the plane.
Where? Where did they find the wreckage?
Let's see, they said it'd be right about there.
Oh, my goodness. Those currents must have been very strong to pull that so far away from the crash site. That is, if it is the debris from the plane.
Yeah, if it is, then I don't think Dr. Quartermaine has much chance of having survived the crash.
No.
Chief Devane?
Yes.
Captain Lewis, this is Marshal Lang. Ms. Lang is an air traffic controller over at Port Charles Airport. She was on duty when Dr. Quartermaine took off.
Oh, right. Thank you very much for coming by, Miss Lang. Glad to do it. Was there anything unusual about Dr. Quartermaine's takeoff?
No, not at all. Dr. Quartermaine appeared to be a very competent pilot.
Was there any communication between you and Dr. Quartermaine when you were in the tower?
Just the normal directives on takeoff.
Were you in touch with him up until the time of the crash?
Well, no. There was some static on the radio, and then it went dead.
He was a novice pilot.
Yeah.
Maybe he panicked.
Well, he'd have had a parachute on board there, wouldn't he?
It's regulation. I'll have somebody check his locker just to make sure that he didn't leave it behind.
Oh, could you get back to us as soon as possible?
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for all your help. Eric will see you out.
All right,
Thank you very much. Well, now all we can do is wait until something turns up.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too long.
Oh,
Hello, Jimmy Lee.
We're so sorry to hear about Alan.
Hi,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Quartermaine.
It was a big shock to all of us.
Everyone at the hospital is praying that he'll be found unharmed.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing when a man outlives his own son.
But don't give up hope, Mr. Quartermaine.
Is, Monica here?
Yeah, she's in the living room with Lila.
Could we go in there and see them?
Yes, of course. I'm sure she would like some company. Jimmy Lee, why don't you show them into the living room?
Oh, thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Monica. Hello. Thank you. Hello, Steve.
Come on, we gotta go to the gatehouse.
What for?
We have a meeting with Brent Madison and the investigator of Valline's insurance company.
Are you crazy? Why in the world would we want to do something like that?
To get the ball rolling on the murder setup.
You're too soon, Jimmy Lee. I mean, we're going to look like a couple of ambulance chasers.
Would you not worry about it? I've thought it all through. I'll explain on the way to the gatehouse. Come on. Trust me.
Trust me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Monica, I want you and Lila to know that I held a meeting this morning and the entire staff sends the Quartermaine family their love and support.
Thank you, Steve. That means an awful lot to us. We're all hoping through some act of God that Alan will be found safe and unharmed.
Yes, well, so are we. It's been quite a long time. I just can't understand that if he were safe and sound, why he wouldn't contact us.
He will, my dear. I know he will.
You know, this woman has been remarkable. She refuses to give up on Alan.
Well, that's because I know he's still alive.
I'm with you, Mrs. Quartermaine.
Can I get anyone something to eat?
Monica, have you eaten anything today?
I don't remember.
I'll get you something, Dr. Quartermaine.
I'll take care of it, Stella. I know what Dr. Quartermaine likes.
Oh, I was taking care of Dr. Quartermaine when you were pulling dandelions out for the front lawn. Now go on.
Jennings was our gardener. Before I promoted him to butler.
He seems very loyal to you.
Monica, Rick wanted me to tell you that he's thinking about you, and he's saying prayers for Alan.
Thank you.
Lila, if there's anything we can do for you, anything at all, please don't hesitate to call on us.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you.
I really feel badly about Rick. I hate to lumber him with all of this work while I'm out there.
Oh, he knows that you do the same thing for him.
Well, listen, you tell him. Regardless of what happens about Alan, I will be back at work just as soon as I can.
Gentlemen, I hope we didn't keep you waiting too long.
No, we just got here. I hope you don't mind my letting myself in.
No, not at all. I'm glad you feel at home, my boy.
Mr. Quartermaine, Jimmy Lee, this is Mr. Walker. He's an agent with Alan's insurance company.
How do you do? Nice to meet you.
Well, I think it's a bit early to be talking about insurance policies. All I want is for my son to be found alive.
Well, I invited these gentlemen over not to file a claim, Edward, but to make sure that my brother's last wish was carried through. And what was that? To get Monica's name off the insurance policy. But she's listed as the beneficiary. I know that. But Alan wanted that changed. He wanted his parents to be the beneficiaries.
I'm afraid that's my fault, Jimmy Lee. You see, but as you know, Alan only made that request the day before yesterday. I had the necessary paperwork drawn up, but it needed his signature before I could mail it.
That's the way it's usually done, I'm afraid.
Well, it's very like my son to think about his parents.
Would you stop defending him? You know as well as I do why he wanted that changed. It was because of that fight with Monica in Jake's office.
Jimmy Lee, that was just a little squabble.
A little squabble? Monica threatened to kill him.
Jimmy Lee, that's enough. Now, you're talking about my son's widow and heir.
Edward, she's a tramp. She openly was having an affair with Sean Donnelly.
Well, I'm glad I put a red flag on the policy.
What does that mean?
Well, it's common practice with a policy that carries a large double indemnity clause. But I would have done it sooner if I had known there were marital problems.
Well, Monica may have caused Alan a few headaches during the divorce proceeding, but she is certainly not capable of murder, if that is what you're suggesting.
That's up to Mr. Walker to decide.
And the police.
Yeah. I assume that you will tell the police your suspicions, right?
Oh, I'm afraid I'll have to.
Well, why do you want to bring the police into this? We're not even sure Alan's dead. I mean, you're just going to get everybody all upset over nothing.
Anna Devane's got to decide if there's a reason for an investigation here. If my brother's dead, I want to find out if it was an accident.
I couldn't recommend payment of the insurance settlement if there was any evidence of foul play. Brett, would you mind if I accompanied you to the police station?
No, not at all.
My company wants to know if there's any possibility of an investigation.
Fine.
All right. Go ahead if you must. But I'm still hoping that my son will be found alive and well somewhere. Find his way back home to us.
Yes, sir. I mean, ma'am. Can I help you? All
you're returning the rental car unit as arranged on contract. Why, you must be Mrs. Jimmy Lee Holt. All right, Mrs. Holt. If you'll sign right here, we'll take care of the rest. Oh, you can get your bus ticket on the other side of the building. You'll see a directory as you come to the main lobby. You're welcome.